So as we continue with our integers, this is a typical exam that we are going to look into. Given question number 5 on integers, calculate without using a calculator. Without 5.1.1, we are given minus 6 plus 4 minus 23. Okay, what can we do in this case? It is up to you the way that you want. You can just make it direct as it is. Minus 6 plus 4. It is simply that we are going to the right 4 times. All right. So meaning to say we'll end up at negative 2 or simply minus 6 plus 4. If the signs are different like what we have, subtract the smaller number from what? The bigger number. So it's going to give us 2, then with a negative. You take the sign of the bigger number, which is what? Negative. So you take that sign on your answer, or just the understanding of the number line that you're moving 4 times, going to the right. 1, 2, 3. Said 1, 2, 3, 4. So you end up at what? At minus 2 as you are going to the right. So that's minus 2 minus 23. At minus 2, you must move 23 steps going back to the left. So you end up at what? Negative 25. Or simply, if the signs are the same, add the numbers, then use that sign on your answer. Minus 2 minus 23. These two signs are the same, right, on these numbers. So add the numbers. You're going to get 25. Then use that sign on your answer, the common sign that you're given there. So it is in your hands how you're going to simplify it. There are so many ways that you understand. Use that and you're going to have the same answer, and verify with your calculator. They say do not use, but this is for verification. Minus 6 plus 4 minus 23. This is going to give us exactly minus 25. So please do verify. Okay. 11 minus, then we've got a bracket that is affecting these, and there is another one inside. All right, what can we do? Let's start with what is inside the inner part. A minus and a minus, these are two signs combined together. Remember, it's going to give us what? A positive. So this is a positive. So it is like this. It is the same as we are given 11 minus the bracket of minus 3 plus 2. This is going to be positive 1 minus minus this bracket. These two signs give us what? A positive. So it's going to be positive 1. Simplifying what is inside the brackets, we're going to see that that was going to be negative 3 plus 2, or you can simply add these two. As you can see, these two are under positive. So you can easily combine those two. 2 plus 1 is going to give us what? A 3. So this is going to give us a positive 3. So it's like this, negative 3 plus a 3. This is going to give us a positive 3. So we are back to the additive inverse, which is going to give us what? A 0. Remember, x plus minus x is equal to 0. So minus 3 plus 3 is going to give us what? A 0. So that's 11 minus 0, which is what? 11. Subtracting a 0 from a number. A minus 0 is equal to A. A plus a 0 is equal to A. Subtracting or adding does not affect that number. All right. So that is another basic that you can use, or simply use a calculator if you've forgotten. 5.134 times negative 28. All right, a product. So you must consider the signs first, a positive to a negative. Remember, it gives us what? A negative. Then multiply the numbers. 28 times 4 is the same. Remember, A times B. A times B is same as what? B times A. So we can multiply starting with 28. 4 times 8, that is what? 32. So 32, you're going to put the 3 here. 4 times 8, 4 times 2 is 8. Then we add to this 3 that we left aside. So add is going to give us 11. Since we do not have any other number that is multiplied, we're just going to write 11 as it is. So this is 112 with a negative. Remember, positive times negative is what? Is a negative from what we had before. Simplifying this 5.14, we have the square root. Then under that square root, there are others that are affecting that, which is the square root of what? The square root of 36 minus the square root of 4. So we are going to ignore the outer square root and simplify the inner part, what we have inside of that. Meaning to say the square root of what? Of 36, the square root of what? Of 4. We simplify that on its own. So what are we going to have? What is the square root of what? Of 36. The square root of 36, the number that multiplies itself to give us 36 is 6. So that's a 6. When working with these questions, you take only positive. It's not like you're solving equations where you use plus or minus. Under this, you just take a positive value. All right. Minus what? The square root of what? Of 4, which is 2. Remember, 2 times 2 gives us what? A 4. So the square root of what? Of 4 is going to give us a 2. So this is going to give us the square root of, we subtract the number 6 minus 2. That is going to give us a 4. And what is the square root of 4? Just like what we had before, the square root of 4 is a 2. So the answer there was going to be a 2. So we can also verify this on our calculator. The square root of, then we have a square root inside of 36. Move this one aside, minus the square root of what? Of 4. So as you can see this, the outer square root must cover everything up to the end, this square root in the outer. All right, then you can simplify this. So this is going to give us what? A positive 2, just like that. So this is what you have. So please do revise as many questions as you can.